I still can't believe you said yes, I said, staring at Emma's hand as the engagement ring sparkled under the sunlight. She laughed softly, brushing her hair behind her ear. I've been waiting for this moment for months. You're finally as serious as I always hoped. I've never been more serious about anything, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. I mean it, Emma. I want us just as for the rest of my life. She smiled, but there was something in her eyes that flickered an almost imperceptible hesitation. I shook my head and forced myself to focus on the warmth of her hand in mine. Ryan's going to lose it when he hears, I said, pulling out my phone. He's been betting I'd chicken out. Oh, he'll be thrilled, Emma said, laughing again. He's always had this grin when he teases you. I love it. I called Ryan anyway. Hey man, guess what? Let me guess, he said, sounding half asleep. You finally admitted you're completely whipped. Shut up. I'm engaged, I said, unable to hide my excitement. Emma said yes. There was a pause, then a loud whistle came through the speaker. You serious? Dude, congratulations. Finally. I thought you'd never get here. She's a keeper, man. Don't screw this up. I won't, I said immediately. I promise. This is everything. Emma rested her head on my shoulder as I ended the call. You look happy, she murmured. I am, I said, wrapping my arm around her. I can't wait for the wedding. My parents are already planning things, and I know yours are thrilled too. They are, Emma said quietly. Then she hesitated, glancing down at her phone. It's just so much, you know? Everything is moving so fast. I noticed the way her fingers fidgeted. Is something wrong? I asked, trying to keep the concern out of my voice. No. Just a lot to think about, she said quickly, smiling again. I'm happy, really. I nodded, though a small doubt crept in. I pushed it aside and focused on the moment. I'm proud of us. Proud of how far we've come. You make me want to be a better person every day. Emma looked at me and laughed softly. Cheesy, but I love it. Just then, Ryan's voice echoed from behind. I said I'd see you two later, but I couldn't resist. I turned to see him leaning against the doorway, grinning. Seriously, Ryan? Seriously, he said. You're glowing, man. She's glowing. I might get nauseous from all this happiness. Emma rolled her eyes, but laughed. He's ridiculous. You're both ridiculous, I said. But thank you for coming. Ryan clapped a hand on my shoulder. Don't mention it. Just remember one thing, don't let her out of your sight. I've seen guys lose their heads over girls like Emma. I get it, I said. I won't. I've got her. Emma leaned into me, and for a moment, everything felt perfect. The sunlight, the laughter, Ryan teasing, the excitement of the future, it all fit together. I didn't notice the brief flicker of distraction in her eyes when her phone buzzed again. I squeezed her hand and smiled. We're really doing this. Together. Emma returned my smile a little more softly this time. Yes, together. And in that moment, I believed it completely. Unaware that the perfect image I clung to was already starting to crack somewhere. Couldn't see. I was about to brush my teeth when I noticed Emma's phone light up on the nightstand. She was sitting on the couch, scrolling, her face glowing in the screen's reflection. Late night again? I asked, leaning against the doorway. Emma jumped slightly. Oh, yeah, just catching up on some messages. Messages. I tried to keep my tone light, but a small knot formed in my stomach. Anything important? She smiled quickly. Nothing for you to worry about. Just friends, you know? I nodded, though something in her voice didn't sit right. Okay, I said, forcing a casual shrug. Friends are fine. Later, I called Ryan. Man, something feels off, I admitted. Emma's, I don't know, distracted. Late texts, her phone keeps lighting up. Brian groaned on the other end. I've been saying this for weeks. I told you to watch closely. You think I'm paranoid? No, it's nothing serious. Maybe I'm overthinking. I tried to sound calm, but Ryan didn't buy it. Overthinking? He said sharply. Dude, trust your gut. You know her better than anyone. If something's wrong, it's wrong. Don't ignore it. I'll keep an eye, I said, feeling unease creep in. It's probably nothing. The next morning, my mom called, already excited. We need to finalize the wedding menu. Have you spoken to Emma about flower arrangements? Your father and I have been discussing the guest list. I groaned. Mom, it's too soon for all this. We haven't even picked a venue. It's never too soon. She said cheerfully. Weddings are stressful. You should start early. I just want everything perfect for you too. Emma appeared behind me, sipping coffee. I'll help, she said, but her eyes darted to her phone again. I'll text the florist later. I nodded but felt the tension between her words and actions. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, really, she said, but I caught the hesitation at work. I couldn't focus. Every time my phone buzzed, I glanced, hoping it wasn't another message from her. Ryan caught me staring at my screen during a meeting. Stop worrying, he whispered, sliding a coffee across the table. But seriously, I saw her texting that night. She looked guilty. Not like herself. I can't confront her without proof, I said, taking the coffee. I don't want to ruin things if I'm imagining it. Watch. Pay attention, Ryan said. Trust me, you'll see. She can't hide forever. That evening, I tried to act normal, chatting with Emma in the kitchen. How was your day? I asked casually. Busy, she said, stirring her tea. Just work stuff. Nothing exciting. I nodded, pretending not to notice how evasive she was. But then her phone buzzed again. I glimpsed the screen and froze. There it was, a blurred image notification. Her laugh, close to a man's shoulder, arms around each other casually. I blinked, trying to focus. Emma, who is that? I asked softly, heart pounding. She looked up, startled, quickly hiding the phone. What? Oh, nothing? Just a picture from work. From work? I repeated, my stomach twisting. You look close. Smiling like that with him? It's nothing, she said too quickly. Really, you're overthinking? I wanted to believe her. I really did. But my mind raced late. Messages, her distracted eyes. Now this photo. Maybe I am overthinking, I said, forcing a laugh. She smiled, relieved. See? Nothing to worry about. I nodded, holding her hand, trying to push the uneasy feeling aside. Okay, I said quietly. Nothing to worry about. But as I watched her sip her tea, phone still near, a small voice in my head whispered that this was just the first crack. I waited in the living room, heart pounding, when Emma came in from work. Her smile felt rehearsed, fragile. Hey, I said, trying to sound casual. Mind if we talk for a second? Sure, she said, setting down her bag. What's up? I took a deep breath, gripping my hands together. About the photos, the ones on your phone. The one with that guy? Emma's face twitched slightly. Photos? What are you talking about? You know exactly what I mean, I said, voice shaking. I saw the notification. You were laughing with him. You looked close. Emma frowned, tilting her head. Oh, that. It's nothing, really. He's just a friend from work. We sometimes take pictures. That's all? That's all? I asked, anger rising. You're smiling like that, arms around him. How is that just a friend? Emma's voice hardened. I told you. Just friends. You're imagining things. I laughed bitterly. Imagining? Emma, I've never felt so betrayed in my life. I trusted you. We were supposed to be planning our wedding, not hiding photos. Her eyes softened for a brief second. I didn't hide it to hurt you, I swear. You have to trust me. Trust you? How? How do I trust someone who laughs like that with another man while I'm at home dreaming about our future? I shouted. She flinched at my tone. It's complicated. You're blowing this out of proportion. Please, calm down. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing. Calm down? Emma, I feel like my world is splitting in half. I don't even know who you are anymore. Ryan's message. Meet me outside, now. I grabbed my jacket. I need some air, I muttered. Ryan was leaning against his car, arms crossed, frowning as I approached. You okay, man? Not even close, I admitted. She's pretending, Ryan. Pretending that nothing's happening. You gotta be careful, he said, Don't let her manipulate you. Take it slow. Gather proof before anything else. I can't just sit here, I said, clenching my fists. I need to know. I need to see for myself. Ryan nodded slowly. Then watch. But don't let it consume you. Follow her quietly. You'll see the truth without her knowing. Later that evening, I parked a few blocks away, my heart hammering. I watched as Emma left her apartment, phone in hand, texting quickly. My stomach sank when I saw her meet him, Mark. I realized, from her messages in, they hugged casually, laughing in a way that made my chest ache. What the hell? I whispered to myself. She's happy with him. I clenched the steering wheel. Every laugh, every touch burned through me. I wanted to scream, to run, to demand explanations. But I stayed quiet, my mind racing, recording every detail. She's smiling like she smiles with me. But it's him, I muttered, voice breaking. Every promise, every plan gone. Ryan's words echoed in my head. Don't let it consume you. I tried to focus, but all I felt was the betrayal, the humiliation. The aching love I had poured into someone who could throw it away so casually. Mark laughed, brushing a strand of hair from Emma's face. She leaned into him without hesitation. I swallowed hard, the sting of reality hitting me. I had imagined confrontations, apologies, arguments, but never this raw, undeniable evidence. I sat in the car, shaking as they walked into a cafe, still close, still laughing. My chest tightened, my hands trembling. I had always pictured the two of us together, planning a life, smiling like that but with her. Not this, not him. The phone buzzed again in my pocket. Ryan, you saw it. I told you. Take a moment. Think. Don't act yet. I closed my eyes, tasting the bitterness of betrayal. My perfect engagement, my perfect future, shattered before me. And I realized I couldn't go back. Not now. I felt hollow, angry, and utterly lost. My dream of marriage had collapsed in a single, devastating afternoon. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her laughing with him, the way her shoulders leaned into his. I shook my head, trying to push it away, but the image stuck. I called Ryan. I can't stop thinking about it, I admitted. Every memory, every word, it feels like a lie now, he sighed. I know, man. I wish I could make it easier, but this is on her, not you. You didn't do anything wrong. I feel wrong, I muttered. Like I was blind, stupid, trusting someone who could throw everything away like it meant nothing. You weren't blind, he said firmly. You loved, that's not weakness. It's human, but now you need to be smart. Think before you act. I don't know if I can think straight, I said. Every time I see her, I feel like screaming. And don't see her yet, Ryan said. Step back. Collect your thoughts. And maybe gather proof. Not for revenge yet, but for clarity. You'll see the truth fully if you watch, not just imagine. I rubbed my temples. I keep replaying everything. Our first date, our engagement, that night on the balcony, I keep asking myself if any of it was real. It was real to you, Ryan said. That's what matters. She made her choices. You made yours. My parents called me for dinner, their cheerful voices clashing with the storm inside me. We're proud of you, son, my father said, and Emma too. You two are perfect together. I forced a smile. Thanks, Dad. That means a lot. My mom, ever the observant one, narrowed her eyes. Are you okay? You seem distant. I'm fine, I said quickly, clenching my jaw. Just tired. Emma arrived soon after, cheerful, chatting about flowers, seating arrangements, and her parents' excitement. I nodded, laughed at the right moments. But every word felt like a lie I was telling myself. Ryan, I whispered later, leaning against the balcony wall. I don't know if I can just let this go. I want to, make her regret it. Calm down, he said. I get it. I'd feel the same. But if you act on anger, you'll lose more than her. Plan. Be patient. Let her show her own mistakes. You'll have your chance. I looked at the city lights, imagining her smile, imagining the life I thought we'd have. I remembered our first kiss, the way she whispered my name in the dark, the warmth of her hand in mine. Each memory stabbed at me, reminding me of what I had lost, torn through maybe what I had never truly had. I keep thinking maybe if I'd noticed the signs earlier, I could have stopped it, I admitted. You couldn't, Ryan said firmly. People show who they are. She chose him over you. That's not your fault. Your job now is to decide how you respond. Smart, calculated, not emotional. I nodded slowly, a plan forming in the back of my mind. I wouldn't scream. I wouldn't confront her in anger. I'd watch. I'd wait. And when the moment was right, I'd expose her carefully on my terms. And the wedding? I asked quietly. Do I pretend everything's fine? Yes, Ryan said, his voice steady. For appearances. But inside, you're free to think, plan, and decide. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing you break before you're ready. I took a deep breath, trying to steady the storm inside me. My world felt fragile, like glass cracking under pressure. But a strange clarity emerged in the chaos. I wouldn't let her ruin me. Not completely. I'll do it your way, I said. I'll watch. I'll wait. And when it's time, I'll make her see what she's lost. Ryan nodded. That's the man I know. Calm, smart, and unshakable. You'll get through this. I stared at the night sky, the cool breeze on my face, feeling a mix of heartbreak, anger, and determination. The perfect engagement was gone. But something else was forming a plan, quiet and sharp. Ready for when the time came. And deep inside, I knew I was on the edge of a choice that would change everything. I sat at my desk, phone in one hand, notebook in the other. Thinking about Emma, my chest tightened every time I replayed her laughter with him, every stolen glance. Every moment I had thought was ours alone. Ryan, I muttered, dialing quickly. I'm ready. I can't just sit here anymore. You sure? He asked, his voice steady. This is the moment you've been planning. Don't rush. Make it clean. I'm sure, I said. I've gathered everything, the screenshots, photos, even witnesses who saw them together. It's enough. I need to do it without losing myself. Good, that's smart. You want her exposed, not you humiliated. I nodded, staring at the images on my phone, her phone buzzing, the blurred notifications, Mark's arm around her shoulder, her smile too real, too intimate. My fingers clenched the edge of the desk. Later that evening, I called Emma. Hey, can we meet at the cafe? Public. Just talk. She hesitated. Sure, I can do that. I could hear the faint doubt in her voice. I smiled coldly. Great, see you there. Ryan waited outside, a silent ally. Everything ready? He asked as I parked. Double quotes, yes, I said. Let's do this carefully. Nothing reckless. Inside, Emma was already seated, sipping a latte, looking casual and innocent. Her eyes widened slightly when she saw me. Hey, she said, smiling. I didn't expect you so soon. I wanted to talk, I said, sliding into the seat across from her. About us and everything I've been seeing. Emma tilted her head, feigning confusion. Seeing what? I pulled out my phone, flipping through the images, the screenshots, each one showing her betrayal clearly. This, I said, all of it. Her smile faltered. I can explain. They're just friends, really. You're misunderstanding everything. I shook my head, voice calm but icy. Friends don't hug like this. Friends don't share laughs like this in public while their fiancé is at home thinking she's alone. Emma's hands trembled slightly. I didn't mean for you to see. I didn't want to hurt you. You already have, I said softly. But I'm not going to yell or throw things. I want to be better than that. I want to remain in control. Her eyes widened, panic flickering across her face. Control? What do you mean? I mean, I said, lowering my voice, that everyone will see the truth. You can't lie to your friends, your family, your colleagues. You made your choice. Mark, who had arrived unexpectedly, appeared at the door. His face froze when he saw me, Emma, and the phone in my hand. "What's going on?" he demanded. "I think you know," I said, standing slowly. "Emma's been hiding things. But don't worry, I've got everything. The messages, the photos, the witnesses." Emma's face paled. You can't do this." "Not here." "I can," I said firmly, "because it's not about revenge. It's about truth. You made your decisions. Now everyone will see them." Mark's jaw tightened. "This is excessive. You don't have to drag it out." "I do," I said, my voice steady. "Because it's the only way she'll see the consequences of her actions. And the only way I'll regain control of my life." Emma tried to reach for my hand, her eyes pleading. "Please, not like this. You don't understand. It's complicated." I pulled my hand back gently, letting her words hang in the air. "I understand perfectly," I said. "You wanted him, you got him. But don't expect me to pretend everything is fine anymore." Her lips parted, panic clear, but she still tried to manipulate, to convince, to shift the blame. I stared at her, my anger contained but burning inside. Every bit of hurt, every bit of betrayal, is now focused into this moment of clarity. "You can try to talk your way out," I said softly. "But the truth doesn't need your permission." Emma's face twisted in fear. Mark's jaw clenched, and I felt a strange satisfaction mixed with sorrow. My world was no longer naive, no longer perfect, but at least now, I was in control. I sat down, breathing slowly, letting the tension settle. The turning point had arrived. I watched quietly from across the cafe as Emma's phone buzzed incessantly. The faces on the screen weren't smiling back at her anymore. They were judgmental, disappointed, and distant. Friends she once relied on whispered, glanced, then left one by one. "Emma, are you okay?" one of her friends asked softly, hesitation in her voice. I'm fine," Emma said, forcing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "I saw the messages," the friend admitted. "I didn't want to believe it, but Mark isn't just a friend." Emma's hands trembled. "It's complicated. You don't understand." "I think I do," the friend said, stepping back. "You lied. You betrayed someone who trusted you completely. I can't be around that." I felt a strange mixture of satisfaction and sadness as they left. Each departing person made her world smaller, and the truth, finally visible to everyone, was catching up to her. Ryan appeared at my side, leaning casually against the wall. "You okay watching this?" he asked, smirking. "I am," I said quietly. "It's hard to explain. I don't feel happy in the usual sense, but there's clarity now. Karma is doing its work." He nodded. "Better than me doing it for you, right?" "Much better," I said, smiling faintly. I didn't want revenge to define me. I just wanted the truth out there. Emma's mother arrived, her face pale and tense. "Emma, what is this?" "I heard from several people, Mom. Please, it's not what you think." Emma begged, but her voice lacked conviction. "It is exactly what we think," her mother said firmly. "I raised you to respect people. This betrayal is unacceptable." I could see the shame radiating off her. She tried to reach for her mother's hand, but her mother stepped back. "We trusted you," she said quietly, "and you broke that trust." Mark hovered nearby, looking helpless. "I didn't mean for this to happen," he said, voice low. "We didn't plan for anyone to find out." "Didn't plan?" Her father's voice boomed, filled with anger. "You chose to lie, to deceive, to cheat on someone who loved you. Planning doesn't excuse your actions." I stayed in the corner, silently observing. My chest was heavy with the remnants of heartbreak, but the tension shifted. I felt control returning, not through malice, but through the truth finally reaching its mark. Later, Ryan nudged me. "You notice how fast the tables turned?" he whispered. "She thought she could hide it forever." I see it. So let's I sources of top I so as and I see myself too. I've wasted enough time doubting myself, grieving blindly. It's time to focus on what matters: my life, my career, my friends. At work, I felt a new energy. I returned calls I'd postponed, accepted new projects, and found myself smiling at colleagues who had once seemed distant. My focus sharpened. Each step I took was deliberate, reclaiming the life Emma had tried to overshadow with lies. "Hey," Ryan said during lunch, sliding a file across the table. "This opportunity's yours if you want it." Big move. Could change everything. I stared at it for a moment, heart quickening. "I want it," I said firmly. "I'm done letting anyone control my direction. I choose me now." Back at home, I received a text from Emma. "Can we talk?" "Please." I read it twice before typing a reply. "I think it's too late for that." "You made your choice." "I made mine." She replied instantly. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." I still didn't answer. I couldn't. Not anymore. My heart had healed enough to recognize that care from her was meaningless without honesty. I called Ryan. "I feel lighter," I admitted. "Like I can breathe again. Like my life is my own." "That's what I've been telling you," he said, smiling. "You're the protagonist of your story, not her mistake. Don't forget it." I leaned back, letting the words sink in. The city lights glimmered outside, reflecting the clarity I finally felt. The heartbreak was still there, but it no longer dominated me. Instead, there was empowerment. A quiet satisfaction in seeing truth take its course without me stooping to cruelty. The following days brought more fallout. Colleagues avoided Emma and Mark, whispers turned to confrontations, and even casual acquaintances confronted her politely but firmly about her behavior. I kept distance, focusing on myself, learning to smile genuinely again. Each day, I grew stronger, more confident, more in control. Ryan and I celebrated small victories over coffee, laughing about plans, life, and the absurdity of drama. "You're back," he said. "Better than before." "I am," I said, feeling it in my chest. "I'm not just surviving. I'm moving forward. I'm taking my life back piece by piece. For the first time since the betrayal, I truly believed it. Karma had done its work, yes, but so had I by standing firm, by keeping my dignity, by focusing on myself. Emma's world had collapsed. Mine was rebuilding. And in that stark contrast, I felt a clarity I had never known before. I was in charge of my life again. The morning sun hit my face as I opened my eyes, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. It was quiet. Not the tense, heavy quiet that had haunted my apartment for days, but a calm, measured silence that felt like a promise. I grabbed my phone and saw a message from Ryan. "Coffee?" "My treat. We need to celebrate how far you've come." I smiled and typed back, "See you in 15? When I arrived at our usual cafe." Ryan was already there, arms crossed and a grin that made me laugh despite myself. "You look different," he said, his eyes scanning me as if trying to gauge the change. "I feel different," I admitted, sliding into the seat across from him. "I don't carry that storm inside me anymore." "That's good," he said, leaning back. "It was about time you stopped punishing yourself for someone else's choices." I stirred my coffee slowly, thinking about everything: the engagement, Emma, the heartbreak, the betrayal. "I realized something," I said. I blamed myself too much. I kept thinking if I had been better, smarter, more attentive, none of this would have happened. But I wasn't the problem. I just didn't see her for who she was. Ryan nodded. Exactly. People show you who they are. You just have to believe it when they do. We sat in silence for a moment, and I realized how good it felt not to be consumed by anger or despair. I'd been holding onto that fire for months, and now it was finally dying down. What remained was clarity, and more importantly, control over my own life. Later that day, I walked through the park, the air crisp and fresh, letting the world around me settle my thoughts. My phone buzzed Emma's name flashing on the screen. I ignored it. A strange sense of peace settling over me. Whatever she wanted, whatever she thought she could say to draw me back in, it no longer mattered. I guess it's over, I muttered to myself. For real this time, as I continued walking, I saw someone sitting on a bench, sketching in a notebook. She looked up, noticed me staring for a second, then smiled. Not the forced, polite smile I'd seen so many times before, with people trying to hide something, but a genuine, warm smile. "Hi," she said. "Do you mind if I?" I shook my head. "No, go ahead. You're not bothering me?" "I'm Lily," she said, offering her hand. "I'm Alex," I said, taking it. The handshake was firm, but friendly, and I felt a flicker of curiosity spark in me, something I hadn't felt for a long time. We started talking, lightly at first. Work, hobbies, favorite books. Her laughter was genuine, infectious, and I realized I was smiling without thinking about anyone else. I wasn't comparing her to Emma. I wasn't analyzing every word for hidden meanings. I was just present. Ryan had called earlier to check in. "You're talking to someone new, huh?" His text read. I chuckled, typing back. "Maybe. Feels nice." As Lily and I continued our conversation, I felt a sense of normalcy I hadn't experienced in months. It was strange, thrilling, and comforting all at once. I wasn't replacing the past, I was stepping forward, building something new. Later that evening, I met Ryan for dinner. "So," he asked, sliding into the seat across from me. "Someone new, huh?" "Yeah," I admitted, feeling the warmth of hope in my chest. "Her name's Lily. She's different, honest, kind, genuine. I don't feel like I have to guard myself around her." "That's exactly what you need," Ryan said, raising his glass. "Someone who doesn't carry your past in their pocket or manipulate your heart." I smiled and clinked my glass with his. "To moving on," I said. "To being stronger than before." "Exactly," Ryan agreed. "And trust me, Alex, you've earned it. You survived the storm, and now you're calm in the eye of it." The next few weeks were a revelation. I focused on myself, my career, my fitness, reconnecting with old friends I'd neglected during the engagement drama. Every accomplishment, every moment of laughter reinforced the fact that I was reclaiming my life. Emma's messages became less frequent, her calls unanswered. Mark was nowhere in sight. Their absence wasn't satisfying, it was just reality. They had made their choices. One afternoon, Ryan dropped by my apartment with a grin. "You won't believe this," he said, holding his phone out. "What?" I asked, curious. "Word is Emma's engagement party is a disaster. Everyone knows what happened. Friends are distancing themselves. Even her family isn't talking to her like before." I nodded, not gloating, just acknowledging the inevitable. Karma wasn't mine to dish out, it had a way of reaching those who deserved it. My satisfaction came from observing, not participating. "I heard Mark's disappeared too," Ryan added. "Doesn't want to be around the fallout. Figures." I leaned back, feeling the last remnants of anger melt away. "Good," I said softly. "Let them deal with their choices. I'm done being part of their mess." Days later, I met Lily again at the park. "I like how easy it is to talk to you," she said, smiling. "No games, no hidden agendas." "That's refreshing," I admitted. "It's been a long time since someone made me feel comfortable just being me." "And you deserve that," she said gently. "You've been through a lot." I hesitated, thinking of the months of betrayal, heartbreak, and self-doubt. "Yeah, I have. But I've learned a lot too. About trust, about boundaries, about not letting someone else's mistakes define me." She nodded, her eyes kind. "That's good. You seem lighter, happier." "I am," I said, and for the first time I truly meant it. The storm had passed. My engagement, my dreams of a perfect wedding, my heartbreak, they were all behind me. I wasn't bitter or vengeful anymore. I was just moving forward. Later that evening, I took a walk alone, reflecting. I thought about Emma, her choices, her loneliness. I felt neither anger nor pity, just understanding. People are who they choose to be, and some lessons are best learned alone. I thought about Mark too, but how easily he disappeared when things got difficult. That contrast, her loneliness, his absence, my newfound clarity was sharp, but it wasn't satisfying in a mean way. It was just reality. Back at home, I called Ryan. Said, stretching in my chair, "I don't think I've ever felt this at peace. Heartbreak is a strange thing. It destroys you, and then it rebuilds you stronger. That's life," Ryan said, smiling. "And trust me, Alexio, ready for whatever comes next." I looked around my apartment, at the quiet, soft evening light filtering through the windows, and felt the truth in his words. I had reclaimed my life. I had rebuilt myself. I was strong. I was cautious, but hopeful. I was ready. Later, Lily called. "Dinner tonight." I smiled, typing back, "Absolutely. Can't wait." As I hung up, I thought about the future, the unknown, unpredictable, and thrilling future. I would always carry the lessons, the heartbreak, and the growth with me. But I wouldn't carry the pain. I would carry strength. The wedding that was supposed to be mine had become a lesson in love, trust, and resilience. Emma's choices had revealed everything I needed to know about people. And now, as I walked into a new chapter, I felt it deeply. I was free. I was empowered. I was moving on, stronger than ever. For the first time in months, I felt like me again.